Hello everybody, welcome to DEMONJESTERJ'S 5 Questions to a Mile Maker. And my guest is...
Simon Mercs.
How you doing today?
Good, real good.
Are you ready for 5 questions?
Yeah.
First question. Who are you? Please tell us about yourself and your hobby, and also, do you have more than one hobby?
Okay. My name's Simon Mercs. A lot of people know me as Simon Papa Smurf Mercs. It's a nickname I picked up in the business, and it's a long story, so we'll skip that. Also, a 3-hour video. Uh, I'm 52 years old. I reside in Daytona Beach. I'm a professional modeler now. I actually worked in the media industry, did a lot of stuff for rock bands like Moody Blues, Neil Young, Foreigner, more stuff that I know some of the younger viewers won't remember, but I was around. I started off loading trucks for Alice Cooper when I was 18, and that's how you get in, you learn people and all that. So I was a prop man, scenic artist for many, many years, and then in '04, I cracked my leg real bad during the hurricanes of 2004. And if anybody was around here at that time, they'll know that we got slammed with 3 of them, and it completely destroyed my leg. I mean, it was completely a shambles. And still to this day, I'm technically crippled, handicapped, whatever you want to call it. I can say that because I am one. So, anyways, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was 44 at the time, and I figured, man, I'm too young to retire and live off some kind of disability or whatever. I didn't want to do that. So I started building my models again, to sort of think, because it's a good way to think is to build models. And my wife noted that, you're really good at these things. I used to do it, for sets and studios and whatever. She says, why don't you start slapping them up on eBay? And I did do that. And at that point, it's my hobby. And then next thing you know, on eBay, they're selling faster than I can make them. And, it's starting to get to the point where I just couldn't keep up with demand. Plus, the eBay fees are eating into it a lot. I also didn't understand the structure of what prices for the real prop reproductions can go for. I mean, you can get a decently built model, so-so on eBay for a few $100. But when you're talking about projects that cost $5,000, $6,000 to build and took you 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 hours, the prices start to get pretty steep. And all that I didn't understand. I had to learn the business. I've been in the business now 12 years professionally. And there was so much to learn, and there's still stuff to learn every day. I've gotten a good name for myself, over the years and all that. And now I have my own website. And the beautiful thing is people really do seem to love my work. I'm booked solid all the time for anywhere between 3 to 5 years. Right now, I think I'm booked for 3. So as an artist, it's very gratifying, to know people like your stuff within your lifetime, not 300 years later going, gee, he was pretty good. Let's put him in a museum. That sucks. I mean, Van Gogh got a raw deal, So I've been doing it for a long time, and it just keeps getting bigger all the time. And now I've got people from movie studios and different actors and all that approaching me for certain kind of things. And I have no idea where it's going, but it's getting really, really interesting. So from a child's hobby all the way up to now what I would call a functional career that's doing really well for me. So, yeah, so sometimes your hobby can become your job. Sad thing is I lost my hobby. So what I've ended up doing is with YouTube and all that, and there's very few, I've never made a sale off a model forum or, if you're looking to make sales, eBay, yeah, but nobody wants to pay any kind of real money for something special. They just want a deal. So I discovered YouTube. I love YouTube. My first, 40, 50 videos are awful. I mean, back then I was using a little P lens camera, and my website back then only supported like QuickTime, 10 seconds, or else the page would take 3 hours to load up when somebody's trying to see it. So anyway, so I got into YouTube and I started getting better and better equipment. And I've made quite a few sales off YouTube. And although that's not the purpose of it, it is a great marketing tool for somebody doing something unusual. Because it's not like, there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of model builders that would love to sell, but there's very few I can see that have succeeded at it. And although that's not always fair, because some of the guys that don't succeed at it are very, very good. It depends. I think I was just lucky and knew some people. You use the resources you have over a lifetime to achieve your goals. That's just the way it works. So my new hobby is making videos. I love making videos. Honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I'd have gone into filmmaking rather than being behind the scenes.
I think you answered number 2 at the same time as the number 1 question.
Did I really?
So let's
all right.
let's say number 2 anyway.
A short video, people.
What got you into your hobby, and how long have you been into it?
Oh yeah,
I think you answered that in the first question.
Well, let me add one thing to that. The reason it became a hobby from a job is because I'm a really hyper person. And when I cracked up my leg, I had to go through all those operations. It was the only time I could sit on my butt long enough to think of something. I actually got something done rather than run around, you know, going, that kind of thing.
All right. Let's go to number 3. When and why did you start making YouTube videos, and have you met anyone from YouTube because of it?
Oh, God. Well, I started making YouTube videos at first to promote my work and to show what I was doing. To me, it's kind of like the ultimate resume for an artist. An artist can, you know, I walked the streets when I was a kid trying to get work as an artist. I was a graphic artist. I got lucky. I got in Michael Myers back in the 60s and 70s was winning all the Oscars for animated films. And from Canada, he was, you know, he was the man. Every year he'd win an Oscar for his shorts. And I actually ended up at his studio one day because I was beating the pavements with my big old portfolio case. I still have it. And he liked my stuff. He sat me down in this really big, dark office, and he offered me an internship. At the time, what I didn't realize, an internship is a non-paid thing for 2 or 3 years, and I'm looking for a job. You know, I got bills to pay. So that didn't happen. So I don't know how that ties into anything. Did I derail there?
I think you did, but it's good video.
Good video. Well, probably you shouldn't use that because it shows that I'm senile already, and I don't want my clients to know I'm senile. But anyway, the YouTube videos, at first, like I said, I was always looking for a creative outlet. That's really what it ties into. And the videos at first were a marketing thing. And as a graphic artist, I found it limited to just draw two-dimensionally. Video, it's, you know, animated. It's again, the ultimate portfolio. Oh, I found myself. Yay! The ultimate portfolio, because it's out there. Everyone can see it. And, you know, a picture speaks 1,000 words, especially an animated one. So it was a way to promote my work, show my work, and as an artist, build a portfolio over the years. And, you know, I've got quite a few videos up there. Many of them suck, but some of them are good. And lately, for some reason, sort of the repressed ham in me has started to come up with characters and things. And the reason for that is I find most modeling videos, and I'm not saying all, are rather dull. I mean, you know, the guy will talk about what he's doing and all that. And some of them have perky personalities that keeps it interesting. I believe that the way to make learning fun is to throw some humor in there. Have fun with it, not just show the nuts and bolts and as and birds C, as and birds and B, and then, oh, look over here, we got a little plane over, you know, man, you know, no, I don't want that. So what I do is I create characters and all that because I think inside I'm a repressed actor. You know, something along that line, and it's a way to ham it up. I let out a lot of frustration. Some of them are basically retaliation for people that have ticked me off, and I embody those characters. Then I've got Vinny, you know, the gangster who kind of gets rid of people that I don't like. You know, he's sort of an extension. Vinny's actually based on a real person, by the way. I grew up in Swallows Park, which is Little Italy in Montreal. It's basically Little Italy. And back then there was what's called men's club, which had 2-3 pool tables out front. You weren't allowed to go in. Only the guys that were part of the club could go in. And in the back, things happen you don't want to know. So, and you know, growing up there, I was one of the kids in the neighborhood. I used to eat at their houses and all that. And it was a safe neighborhood because nobody dared do anything there. I think you're following my drift. So Vinny is actual guy that I met. His name really was Vinny Ventucci. I spell it a little differently. He's long gone now, but I kind of overdo him. But he's a real guy, and that's where I get him from. And you know, Vinny was always busy doing things, and I don't really want to know what they were, you know. So But a great guy, was good to the kids, used to give them money, you know, it's just, he liked kids. So anyway, so that's it. So it's an outlet for me, and that's why I do the videos. I still show my work, and I've gotten, you know, I used to be real uptight about showing how I did things because I was real competitive at the time, and a lot of people were slamming me price-wise and whatever. But now I seem to, you know, people like what I do. I'm getting orders. I'm okay. So I'm starting to show more tips and tricks. And, you know, and a lot of young models seem to like that. So that's why I do it. Now, what was the end part of the question? What?
Part is, have you met anyone from YouTube because of your videos?
Well, you. No, I actually have met a lot of people. I mean, everywhere. Well, one of my favorite guys lives in the UK, Dave Menz. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his videos. He does Transformer reviews.
Sorry.
You okay there? Okay.
Yep.
He does Transformer reviews and things like that. Insanely funny. I mean, when I grew up, it was Monty Python, you know, and all that stuff. This guy could have been John Cleese, you know, hilarious. Oh, no, seriously. And I really like him. We Skype a lot. He's one of the very interesting people I met, and many others. God, who else? I'm telling you, the senility, it's just, it's the glue fumes, the paint fumes here has just killed my brain. Oh, God. I'm trying to think. Well, everybody, like Henry Prentice, I knew from being on YouTube, but we had linked up before. But now on YouTube, I keep up with his TSDS channel. I mean, if I look at any of my, you know, all the subscribers I have, a lot of them are people that do what I do or aspire to do it as a living. And I have to have Tim Nolan I met, Rat Daddy Studios. I mean, and I guess it'd be a combination of YouTube and Facebook. Oh, the bad word, the bad word. But you know, yeah. I mean, let's narrow it down better. Would be how many people have I met online since all these things have come into play, and I've reconnected with a whole lot of friends that I've lost track of over 30 years. Yeah.
All right. Let's get to number 4. Do you have any tips for anyone getting into your hobby or making YouTube videos?
Oh God. Getting into my hobby. Well, one of the most important things is you gotta love it, because it takes a lot of. I don't care if you're building it for somebody else, which is even more stressful. People think I got an easy job. It ain't an easy job. There's nothing harder than to please somebody else who's had high expectations. That is not easy. Tips, tricks, love love the craft. Do it for the love of it. I mean, I was there before I started doing it for a living. You gotta learn to walk before you think about flying. If you want to build, the beautiful thing about it is it's actually good for you. It builds, in children, it makes them more tactile. It makes them understand engineering principles. There's art principles, graphic principles. So if you have a collection of that and you're looking for something more than just drawing, modeling is it to me. I like to have a 3-dimensional thing. So my tip is ask yourself, is this the right hobby for me, first of all, as a basic? And then get yourself some basic tools. It's not a bad idea to read a couple books on basic modeling techniques. Graphics class will teach you about paints and pigments. Just like anything else, do your homework. And avoid that X-Acto knife, because, ow, and then it might take the taste out of your mouth. And realize, like any other hobby that uses chemicals and tools and all that, you got to be safe. Be careful, especially for the kiddies there. And what else? What was the other part?
The other part of the question is, do you have anyone new get into your hobby or making YouTube videos? So do you have any tips on making YouTube videos?
Well, making YouTube videos, first of all, get a decent camera, because my first few cameras were, real bad, and the results were really poor. I mean, I've built up to the point now where I have steady cams and things like that because I like to follow my subjects. I mean, I'm not saying I've got these huge, TV quality ones, although I'd love one, but I need a bank loan for one of those things. Get proper equipment. Also, get yourself a basic editing program. I mean, that was always my thing. The reason I've learned to ad-lib, even though I have no memory left, for that I do, is because I didn't know how to edit. So,
oh yeah, that's the hardest thing to learn.
To just go with it. If you made a mistake, go on with it, because I couldn't edit it out. So I've gotten not too bad at ad-libbing, but get a basic editing program. Like I use Windows Movie Maker. Very easy, very intuitive. I know, maybe you're making the face right now, going, well, I got better. Well, I'm not super good at those kind of interfaces, and that one for me came instinctively. It's also one of the few ones that work on Windows 7. Now I have this whole Adobe Photo Suite that cost $1 million or whatever the hell it is, and it's got a bunch of video editing. I have no concept how to use it. I mean, it's got every greeble in it, and it's going to take me 3 lifetimes to learn how to use it. But I got it. But Windows Movie Maker is sort of my choice. I mean, I'm still using Adobe Photoshop 7.0 because I kind of know how to use that. If I go to 11 or 12 or whatever the hell it is now, forget it. So, know your limitations. Use the equipment that works for you. Do the best you can with that equipment, and learn how YouTube works. YouTube's not too hard, but there's a few things you need to know. I mean, find out, read about it. They have little informational videos and whatever. And it's like me. I mean, once I screw it up 3, 4 times, I read the instructions.
All right. The last question is, who do you think I should ask these 5 questions to next, and why?
Well, I'd say Dave Mentz, definitely. Reason being is one of the funniest guys I've ever seen. He's heavily into Transformer robots like Prime. Optimus Prime is his god or whatever. I'm a great fan of his stuff. We speak often. I think you'd have a blast talking to him. And he's also a fairly good modeler. So he's kind of like, he's got what you're looking for as far as asking questions of a modeler. Plus, he's got other things, like he's a DJ. He does, techno DJ raves, things like that. Very interesting person. So for your purposes, and that he is on YouTube, I would say talk to Dave Mentz. And by the way, cheers, mate. It's my fault. He's going to bother you now. Anyway.
All right. Well, that's the 5 questions. Do you have anything to say about yourself? Any websites?
Yes.
Facebook? Anything like that?
Shameless.
Go ahead. Shameless plug time. It's all for you.
You can check out my website. It's 2 domains I've got. Is thekitfactory.com, and I'm sure you'll post all that stuff in the credits.
Everything's gonna be in the credits, so everything you say is gonna be in there too.
Thank you.
And the description down below.
And simonmercs.biz, just my name.biz. That'll get you there. I'm on Facebook, just Simon Mercs. Look me up. You don't have to friend me, just look at it, okay? Because I got so many friends now. I mean, and some of them post 100 things a day. I can't keep up with it anymore. It's a part-time job, for crying out loud. What else? I guess that's about it. I'm on Google Plus too, but the reason I think they tied YouTube to that is because it's not doing so good. Really, on Google Plus, some people say it is. I don't see a whole lot of competition with Facebook. Although one day, Facebook, your end will come, just like the Roman Empire fell. It's gonna. I can see something new coming along that's different, whatever. Although it's been useful in some ways, but to me, YouTube's the ultimate. I love YouTube. I think it's great. I mean, half the time I'm not watching TV, I'm watching YouTube.
What's your channel name on YouTube?
My channel name is Mercs32118. My last name and the zip code here in Daytona Beach.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the show. Thank you for letting me interview you.
Oh, no, it was fun. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. For me, too. I learned something.
No, you live close, man. You can come by and have a beer, man. Whatever you want, dude.
Like I say to everybody, keep blade sharp and make sure the hobby's fun.
Amen to that.
Bye, everybody.